Good morning, everyone. I absolutely love when people can speak the truth and speak it in love. Speak your truth, but never say it in vengeance or hate or, maliciousness. Just speak your truth. So the wow story for me today, there are many, but this one is by Ms. Yellen, who is going through her nomination confirmation process in Congress. Started yesterday, but she nicely put Congress in their place. The Senate is doing the confirmation, but she just spoke her truth without offending anyone. And I hope the guys that are over there in Congress who don't seem to have a lot of brain power right now at 9%, because no matter how hard they try to destroy the president, we see that they are destroying themselves too. But anyway, Ms. Yellen, and I will read you this because I just thought it was so good to see this woman stand up and speak her truth. In a loving way, you might say. Quote, "We're worried about a fragile recovery and more supportive fiscal policy, or one that at least had less drag, that did not harm, would make life easier." That's what she said later on. So we go with that for the flow. And I just took this off MSN, and I am just so happy to read this story. Yellen was referring to the austerity that has come out of a rolling series of debt crises instigated by Republicans in the past few years, including the deep budget cuts known as sequestration and this year's payroll tax increase. Under pressure from Republicans, the federal government has cut spending at the fastest pace since the end of the Vietnam War. Do you know how long ago that is? Government investment has tumbled to its lowest level as a percentage of GDP since 1948. The belt tightening has probably cost the economy nearly 2.5 million jobs. May I say that again? 2.5 million jobs? According to a recent study by the Center for American Progress, a liberal think tank, one huge reason this has been the slowest job market recovery since World War II. Economists on the right and left agree austerity has hurt economic growth, employment, and consumer spending, with executives from Walmart and Cisco among the most recent capitalists to complain about it. It looks like Janet Yellen will have no problem tackling Ben Bernanke's most important jobs, shaming Congress for running the economy. Shaming Congress for running the economy and then ruining it. Because they're trying to run the economy, but what they're doing is ruining the economy. Yellen reminded lawmakers of their sheer terribleness during a Senate Banking Committee hearing on Thursday about her nomination to replace Bernanke as chair of the Federal Reserve. when his term ends, when January just around the corner, Republican senators moaned and groaned, of course, as usual, about the Fed's extreme easy money policies. Yellen reminded everybody that Congress has forced the Fed to act by constantly imposing harsh austerity measures on an economy still recovering from a financial crisis and deep recession. Fiscal policy, she says, has been working at cross purposes to monetary policy. Does the Republicans and the Tea Partiers even understand this language? I don't think they do. Some of the near-term reductions in spending that we have seen have certainly detracted from the momentum of the economy and from demand, making it harder for the Fed to get the economy moving, making our task more difficult. Congratulations, Ms. Yellen. And you haven't even started your job yet. You've been the deputy for a long time, so I'm kind of assured that you know what you're talking about. But I simply hope that you can convince this Congress that has no other aim and no other plan than to, number one, Republicans want Obama to not be president anymore. But newsflash, you cannot change that right now. You have another 3 years to go. Next thing is that the Republicans, clearly stated by Speaker Boehner yesterday, wants to kill the Affordable Care Act because they simply don't give a crap about the poor. Yes. 40 million people don't have insurance, or 47 million, whatever the number is. But the Republicans, all they can do is try to kill, kill, kill. Block, block, block. Is there ever a success out of anything like that? I don't think so. And you cannot get a success out of anyone if you keep browbeating and beating down the poor. That is what the Republicans do on a daily basis. If you see a montage of all the things that all the Republicans, from Rand Paul to Speaker Boehner to Paul Ryan to Marco Rubio to Ted Cruz to Mike Lee to, do I need to continue? If you see a montage of all the things they've said about the poor, including the fact that the Fox people are joining in, Sean Hannity, for one, don't even want them to have a refrigerator, and now they're talking about, oh, they just sit back and watch them big screen TV and do nothing. Well, my golly, I wonder if Republicans understand that most of the people, black people, now let's get rid of the white people, because lots of white folks are on Medicaid and SNAP because they were killed by the Republican policies of 2008 backwards. Let's not forget that part. But the fact that Republicans have no clue that most of the people they're cursing or downing or drumbeating to kill, those people actually have a job that just does not pay them a living wage. And those people, my friends, are the people who spend every dollar they have in the economy when they get it. So they are indeed important to the economy, whether you like them or you don't. Yeah, the immigrants, the Spanish people especially, they keep sending their money back to their countries to take care of their families. But most African Americans, when they get money, they spend it. So are they good for the economy? I don't know about rich people. Rich people spend in the economy, but they're buying items that no one else can afford. Like the man who bought the piece of artwork, which is paper, in my opinion, for $142 million and remains anonymous. So yes, it is a wow moment to also think that the Republicans have actually come to the realization that 58% of their own people are actually wanting the minimum wage to move from $7.25 to $9 and $10. Some places want it to be $15. So should we just get Congress to live the life of a poor person in this country for one day? No, give them a week and see how long they would survive. On the little that some people have to eat canned foods most of the times. The cheapest thing they can afford most of the times. Does this Congress and this country and the people of this country have just gotten mean, hard-hearted, and don't care? Isn't this the country that's supposed to be a caring nation? A nation who helps everyone to move up if they want to, if they work hard, they can move from poor to middle class? Or have we just given up that concept totally? So the newsflash is, all Republicans who are trying to lie again to pretend as if they want to save Obamacare, the Affordable Care Act, when really what they want to do is kill it, murder it, stomp on it. But you see, the man with the tan, as in Speaker Boehner, could not lie yesterday. He just blatantly said we need to just scrap the whole thing. I think he wanted to say a curse word, but he couldn't because he was on TV. But I'm sure in the background he does. Or is it that he really does? Or he's just trying to play to the extreme part of his caucus that are called the Tea Partiers? Who are we? What do we want? Are the Republicans really thinking that we are so stupid, we are so dumb, that we would think that all of a sudden Ted Cruz and Speaker Boehner and the Tea Party and the Republicans want to fix Obamacare? Do they really think we're so stupid? Even though Obamacare, the Affordable Care Act, is the exact model that was created by a Republican governor named Mitt Romney in a place called Massachusetts. And it is working beautifully. The president did the Affordable Care Act as a model from the Massachusetts plan. The Heritage Foundation, now headed by Mr. DeMitte, Mitt DeMitte, is the same foundation that loves the Massachusetts plan. So because it is attached to a guy named Barack Hussein Obama, it is no longer good for the country? Oh my God, please stop it. God, come and save us. You must, God. Because we can no longer live with the hypocrisy of the Republican Party and the lies that politicians continue to tell. So let's just trot on over to Canada, our neighbor, and talk a little bit about the continuous lies of politicians. It's everywhere. It's infested the entire world, is it? I want to move to France. Is it infected over there too? I want to move to Germany. Is it infected there too? How about Rome? Let's call it Italy, not just Rome. How about Spain? Is the political system everywhere around the world just infested with lies and cheaters and people who are doing crazy things and hoping to get away with it because they think we're all stupid? And when we have fathers like Rafael Cruz going out and talking about the president should go back to Kenya, why isn't he going back to Cuba? That's where he's from. He's not American. He's an immigrant. So let's just call a spade and speak our truth. Because we have become a nation of lying politicians. And President Obama, please let me say to you, I love you dearly, and I think most people do love you. Even some Republicans. But please, stop taking all the blame all the time and let your staff be fired. Because right about now, they should all be fired, including the ones that were afraid to come to you to tell you that the Affordable Care Act rollout was not going to be good. The website was not working properly, or did they know? Because the fact that they didn't tell you, I can clearly understand. Some stupid people don't understand, but I do understand. Because when people work with people who are in powerful positions, they are afraid to speak their truth to them. Because they're so afraid of the authority. Oh, the president. Oh. The president is a man just like all other men. And as I heard a Republican strategist say, the greatest thing that I heard for the week, someone needs to tell Ted Cruz that he's no gift to the world from God. He's just a man like all other men who put their pants on every single morning. So President Obama, you need not take any more blame. Yes, your ratings is in the toilet, 39%, but Congress's is worse. Would you rather be 9% like Congress? So yes, I want you to apologize for what your entire cabinet did, headed by Sebelius. But I don't conceive that you should take all the blame. You need to start rolling some heads so we can see some heads being rolled and being fired. Because if you don't fire anyone and you're waiting until they fix it to fire them, that's not effective. Heads need to roll and new people need to come in and fix this. And this is a lesson for all of us when you work with someone. You know, like I know someone who works for a big bank. And I said to them one day, okay, can you get to the chairman and, you know, make a connection for me? Oh no, I don't get to speak to people like those. Well, when I work for anybody, I don't care who I work for, I need to meet the CEO myself. And I don't care if I'm sweeping the floor. I need to meet him. I need to see him. I need him to understand that I'm just not a number. I am an employee in his company that is helping to fill his pocket with money. And that's what we should do. We should stop being so afraid of authority. Did you see the damage it can cause? And that's the lesson we need to get out of this whole Obamacare, Affordable Care Act debacle. We must let our leaders, our heads of our companies know what's going on in that company. The presidency, for me, is a business. It's a company. So if the head doesn't know what the tail and the middle are doing, and he goes out and just use the talking points that you give him without knowing that the crown of glory is falling down behind him, and the hell in the hallway is so unmanageable that the Republicans will all be in glee. Even Dick Cheney is now agreeing with President Clinton for saying something that I think he's sorry he said because he looked tired when he was saying it. One should never speak when they're exhausted or when they need rest. Because it's always going to seem, people are going to question, why did he look so tired when he was saying this? And people are going to attach things to it that you don't want to be attached. You're now chief underminer instead of chief explaining things. What a week this was. And I know that next week will be a better week. But the Republicans will continue on their journey to make President Obama not be president, which they cannot achieve, and to scrap the ACA law, which they can't achieve either. So why, you might ask, they're barking up this tree? Why don't you take a guess? It's simply spelled H-A-T-E, hate. R-A-C-I-S-M, racism. That's it. And I don't care how you want to sugar it, how you want to quote it, how you want to make it seem nice. That's what it is. And we need to face it and just deal with it and press on and move on. Because if we don't, we have a miserable 3 years coming down the pike. Because President Obama is not going anywhere. And I don't think the Affordable Care Act is going anywhere either for the next 3 years at least. And even after these 3 years, and if a Republican wins the presidency, which it doesn't look very possible right now, because the one man they thought they had, they done crucified him in the name of Chris Christie. Even Palin is getting in on the act and calling him fat. And Palin, someone needs to grab her in a corner and say, woman, when you want to sell books, shut up and don't take on the beloved Pope Francis. Because if you do, you're going to get clobbered. And yes, praise God, she was clobbered and she had to apologize. She never normally does. She's talking about the fact that the Pope is too liberal. The Pope is the only Pope that has taught about poor people and stopped the obsession with abortion and gay rights and contraceptives in the Catholic Church. And even having people like me who've been to Catholic churches but just didn't really feel the praise. I would now go back to a Catholic church just because of Pope Francis. And it's not just me. It's lots and lots and lots of people. So I think Sarah Palin, before she puts her foot in her mouth all the time, she needs to read a little bit more, just like Katie Couric asked her to do, invited her to do. What do you read, Miss Palin? Or all you think about is just the dollar bill that's going to fill your bank account to take care of you, your children, and your husband. Money is good. We can do not much without money. But for the love of money, like Sarah Palin, that's not the route to take. So before you start attacking the Pope and attacking the weight of Governor Christie and talking continuous crap about President Obama and him being a socialist, I think you should go and at least read Marx's book about socialism before you call people socialists. Do you even know what it means? Have you read Marx's book? Wow. And Speaker Boehner, less stand and more engage your brain would be better. Engaging your brain and stop talking about scrapping the law, when at the same time you're going to vote today to save the law. How stupid does that look? Yesterday, scrap it. Scrap the whole thing. And today you're going to vote on some bill to try to save it? When really we all know that the bill is trying to kill it? We're not that stupid, please. We're not that stupid. Give us a break. Elections are just around the corner, so everyone is trying to save their butt, including the Democrats, who are indeed a bunch of wimps, pressuring the president to come out and talk about what he's going to do to save the plan. And all those people who lost their insurance. Didn't the insurance company... Now you see, there's so many things to this whole thing. The insurance companies knew the law for the past, 3.5 years? Do you think that the insurance companies, before they issued those letters, would have told their policyholders, look, the policy you have is not a good policy. If you buy on the exchange, you might just save some money and you'll get more comprehensive coverage. But no, the insurance company would never do that. Because you see, the insurance companies only want when we pay our premiums. But when you're ready to collect, even when you're dying on the bed in the hospital, They don't want to pay out that easy. Just think about that for a minute. So the insurance companies knew about the law. Do you want to tell me that all of them didn't want to just embarrass the White House? Because what they should have done, since they know the law, they should have explained it to their clients and have their clients buy another policy within the ACA. And those who can't get into the ACA, then they sell them that junk policy that they're selling them, because let it be clear, all the policies that you hear all those people jumping up and down about, and the Republicans are so acting like they care about, which they don't give a crap about, those policies are not good policies when you're sick. They're only good policies when you're well. And why do you really want insurance? Isn't it for when you're sick? So you don't go bankrupt, or you're not told after 45 days that you no longer have coverage? And you really, no matter how you think about Medicaid, you have to apply for Medicaid? Let's engage our brains in this country, please. And stop just listening to people pound things into our heads. I am sure, just like the fact that 58% of Republicans want the minimum wage increased, I'm sure it's more than 58% of Republicans who actually need the Affordable Care Act to give them insurance. Do you actually think that the 40 million people who are not able to have insurance and a little card to go to the doctor, and they are using the emergency room as their family doctor? Do you believe that all 48% of those people are black poor people or Hispanic poor people? There has to be some white Republicans in there, some Tea Partiers. I guarantee you, if someone does a poll of those 48 million people, if they ever can, because some of them are just homeless, sleeping in their cars, have no food. Do we remember that? Or is this Congress just going to continue with their little working days to do nothing but Obamacare and block nominations? I want to see them block Yellen. I just want to see that. So Homeland Security has no head, and they want to try now to make the Fed have no head. Yeah. Let's see how that works out for you Republicans. Because you know, I can't wait for some of those sound bites in the 2014 election. Can't wait. We're going to take a break and come back in just a moment. Back in a moment. Hello everyone. It doesn't matter who you are, how rich you are, how poor you are. But there has to be a point in your life, and you will come to that point, where you have to take someone you love to the hospital. But have you ever considered that you could take that loved one, in my case, my only child, to the hospital in a normal state, and then you leave 5 months later, brain damaged, in a wheelchair, without your senses? This is my true story, Deadly Negligence, the book, available on Amazon and at my website, dianawrighttv.webs.com. I'm asking you today to get a copy. Support my story. Let us get this out there, because this story will captivate you. It will shock you. It will give you hope. It will increase your faith and make you believe in miracles again. Thank you for picking up your copy today. And just in case you know Oprah Winfrey or Tyler Perry or Mr. Levinson, let them know this is worth a movie. Thank you. Get your copy today. Hello everyone, I am just asking you from around the world and in the United States to partner with the Diana Wright Show, sponsor the Diana Wright Show, or advertise on the Diana Wright Show. To do so, please call 561-228-1921. That's 561-228-1921. Please sponsor, partner with us, and advertise with us to make the show a big hit, just like you do by liking us on Facebook and following me on Twitter. Thank you so much. Don't forget the number to call, 561-228-1921. That's 561-228-1921. Also, we invite you to invite me to be at your event as a speaker and to tell you about my new book, Deadly Negligence. And so we encourage you to partner with us right here on the Diana Wright Show. Advertise with us and sponsor the Diana Wright Show. 561-228-1921. Thank you so much. All right, welcome to the program. Once again, this is the Diana Wright Show Live. We thank you so much for joining us from around the world and in the United States. Yeah, get calls from Africa and, oh well, that's a good thing. Even though some of the things they're asking you to do is not a good thing. But anyway, we welcome you from around the world and in the United States, and thank you so much for joining us. It is Friday, TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. Don't forget, we do this every Monday through Friday from 10:30 to 11:30. We could go longer, but we choose not to. So we are just inviting you to come this Sunday to the Redeemer Lives, a gospel concert being given by Dee and Miguel, and they have for you Marlon Brother Paul Anderson. He's the man that's going to rock the house. Anointed voices led by Littell Gale, and of course Miss Sharon Chestnut Fraser will be there also, and the Overcomer Brothers will also be there. They promise to have refreshments on sale for you. So come on out and enjoy this event. That's this Sunday. The gates open at 5 o'clock and the showtime is 6 p.m. sharp. No joke about that. So you want to come to Shiloh Drive, where you'll find Palm Beach Lakes High School Auditorium. That's where the Redeemer will live on Sunday, inside of the high school auditorium. So it's Palm Beach Lakes High School Auditorium this Sunday, starting at 6 o'clock, but the gates will be open at 5. So you can also come and have refreshments there, and they promise to give you a great gospel concert. And of course, you can give Dee a call at 561-351-3443. That's 561-351-3443. Or you can call Miguel if you prefer to talk to a guy, 561-889-9584. That's 561-889-9584. You can pick up your tickets at Auntie Merle's Kitchen, which is Chef Bunny's place, and that's at Southern and 441, or you can check them out at Island Style Bakery. You can get your tickets there too. Foodtown Supermarket and Caribbean Choice Restaurant also will have tickets for sale. Tickets are $20, but if you don't get the tickets before and you wait for the last minute and you get it at the door, it's going to cost you $5 more. So get your tickets today for the Redeemer Lives Gospel Concert for this Sunday, and it will be taking place at none other than the Palm Beach Lakes High School Auditorium on Shiloh Drive, and that's off of Military Trail. All right, so check it out. I'll be there trying to get you to buy some of my books. Anyway, let's move on. And don't forget to check out Chef Bunny and tell him Diana Wright sent you when you go to buy your tickets. Taste some of the food and buy some of the food. It's good. And believe me, I am not a Jamaican restaurant person, because most of the times you go, the food is good today, it's bad tomorrow. They want to sell you overnight food and all that kind of stuff, which I don't play. I don't eat my own overnight food. I ain't going to eat yours. Okay? So you need to check out Chef Bunny and just tell him that I said he gives tasters before you purchase your meal. Alrighty. I have a question. Why are we actually going to the website to buy our insurance policy for the Affordable Care Act? Shouldn't you be going to a person? And there are indeed persons that you can get this insurance to buy through. Isn't it easier to go to a person that can explain it to you and show you the different plans and all that kind of stuff? We're acting like the website is everything. No, it's not. Because personally, I would never use the website to buy any insurance, period. Because there always has to be a human being that I'm speaking with. I like the human being touch. So why don't I encourage you today to forget about the website. And if you have a local exchange in your state, like in Kentucky, where it's working fine and you're computer savvy, have we forgotten that a lot of people who are the 48 million probably don't even have a computer to go on a website? Have we forgotten that part of the lesson? Oh yeah, Sean Hannity say they have a refrigerator, and some say they have a big screen and they're just putting their legs up on the sofa and doing no work and just sucking out the government. Some people believe that. And yes, there are people in the system who are frauds and thieves. We know that. But we can't allow a few people to muddy the water for everyone else. So we try to kill everyone else who really are in need. I want to see the Republicans take away the Affordable Care Act. And then I want to see the Republicans speak to all those parents who have a child who has a pre-existing condition, who has a child who's 20 years old, in college, and still needs to be on their insurance until they're 26. I want to see the Republicans explain that away to all those people, because whether you like it or not, you might not have a child that's ill, but there are thousands and thousands of parents who have children who are sick. So I want to see the Republicans kill Obamacare, as they like to call it, the Affordable Care Act, and then go and explain to all these sick people, oh, your child has a pre-existing condition, or you yourself has breast cancer and we can't find a policy for you, but if we do find it, it's going to cost you like $5,000 a month. And then if you don't have any insurance and you go to the hospital, the bill is what? $170,000 and you ain't got 2 cents? I want to see the Republicans explain that. And I want their chief investigative explaining crazy person, Ted Cruz, do that. Followed by Rand Paul, Marco Rubio, Eric Cantor, and chief explainer, Speaker Boehner. I want to see them tell those people. Because there are lots of the law that is already working and working well. And people are loving it. So I want to see them take that away from those people. Those people who are having their caps on their treatments by the insurance company. Okay, let's see the Republicans do that. And 2016, don't even bother to try to explain that away. Because you won't be able to. Because when people are sick, they don't want to hear a politician's voice telling them no. I guarantee you that. I know that. I've been there, done that. We do not want to hear your no's. We want to hear, yes, my child can be fixed no matter what. That's what we want to hear as mothers. I don't know. Fathers, yeah, they're okay too. But mothers bear the brunt of this thing called sick child, called child who almost got killed because of negligence in the hospital. Oh yeah, we have the biggest voices and we know how to use them. So I would like to see the Republicans explain this away when they have to take all of this back. When they do kill Obamacare, which is their goal. This is kind of tiring, don't you think? This whole rollout, the president apologizing for all his lousy staff. Because they have to be loud. But I know that the staff is kind of lousy because of some of the things that you see them do already. The president doesn't know this, he doesn't know that. Yeah, there's some things he should not know because of the legal ramifications. We understand that. But shouldn't he know that his signature legislation is not going to roll out well? I think so. Give me the job of telling him what he doesn't want to hear or what you think he doesn't want to hear, because he should have heard this. All right. Now, the next wow story is China. China has now decided that they are going to ease that one-child policy. So you can now have two if you're like me and you're an only child and you're part of a couple. You are allowed to have a second child. Who knew? Oh, how kind of you. After all this time when most women were forced to have abortions when they didn't want to have one, China has a change of heart. What's going on over there? Oh, that new guy. Yeah, there's a new guy in town who was trained in the United States with his education. So I guess we have him to thank if we are Chinese and if we live in China. They're going to ease their policy. But when is it going to take effect? Like 2020 or something like that? Why not now? Why not this year? Why not next year? That seems like eternity. Are those people even going to want to have kids at that time? After they realize that having two is really expensive because having one is so expensive? Wow. So, anyway, I want to ask you if you've really paid attention to the things and the names that Republicans are calling the poor. I really need for you to take that in this week. It's not a good thing. It's a bad place for us to be as a nation, as a people. And when you have Sarah Palin trumpeting the liberalness of our Pope Francis, you know we have gone over the edge. We just seem to not care. We only care about how much money we have in the bank. My golly. Thanksgiving is just around the corner, my favorite holiday. And I hope we can take that time when we're enjoying our nice turkey and ham and green eggs and ham and, you know, all kind of stuff. Stuffing and pecan pie, cornbread, macaroni and cheese. We just take a minute to think about someone else who has no food. Let's just remember those in the Philippines who have nothing basically today. Let's all look at ourselves and first say the magic words, I love me, and then think about who else can you love? Who else can you buy a turkey this Thanksgiving? Who else can you allow to have sweet potatoes with marshmallows roasted on top with raisins in it? Who else can you allow to have a meal this Thanksgiving? Is what I'm truly asking you to do. Because we become a nation of haters and selfish, individualistic-minded people. And we just need to take a moment and know what Thanksgiving is truly about. As we buy our turkey, as we buy our stuffing, as we buy our cranberry sauce. Actually, I like the one with the whole cranberries in it. Yeah. as we do all of that, just consider who you can give a hand to. I normally make sure I find one person to give a hand to. It's normally someone that works for me or works with me. Sometimes it's a stranger that I don't know. But please, take this season and give someone. It doesn't have to be a lot that you give. Just enough to buy a turkey dinner is good. You don't have to say to me, oh, Diana, I can't even afford to feed my own family, so you're asking me to help someone else now? Yes, I'm asking you to help someone else. But I'm asking you not to necessarily give all that you can afford or that you can't afford in your mind. Just a turkey dinner will do. That's all. So I ask you to do that for me, for this show, as we go into another journey. Because you know, after Thanksgiving comes Christmas, and then there's New Year's Eve, that we all spend money that we don't have to go to all these parties. So just take a little bit out of that and make sure everyone that you can possible, in your realm of possibility, that they will have dinner too. Okay, I want to get back to Toronto's mayor for a minute, Mr. Ford, because it seems like his brother is abandoning him. He's abandoning him just about now, because the things that are coming out of Mr. Ford's mouth, I mean, he's talking about people are accusing him now of the prostitute, and he's really raw in his language about oral sex and everything else, and oh my golly, it's just becoming so nasty. Can they do anything to stop him? Well, now, today, I think they've gotten really serious to try to get rid of him. Is it so ironclad that he can do anything and get away with it as a politician, and he can just continue to lie and then come back and apologize? He's now the king of apology. I have never seen a politician apologize so much in my little lifetime. Yeah. I think this is the first one, actually. So he apologizes and apologizes, and the next day he's apologizing for something else and apologizing for something he said and what he didn't say, and oh my God. He is really embarrassing Toronto. Is that the way they do politics in Toronto? Well, let's see what happens. We're going to watch this story. Everyone is watching this story. And day by day, it's just getting to be a little more ridiculous. And yeah, have you noticed that more houses are sinking in Florida? So watch out if you live in Florida. You could be in your living room and think someone is breaking in, but no, you're being sucked in by the hole beneath you. I wonder how many others. Let's hope mine is on solid ground. This is crazy. These builders, shouldn't they make sure that these houses that they're putting on this land is sound before they put the houses on there? And sad to say that when these people lose their houses, who are they going to sue? Some of those builders are long gone. We're in the end times of crazy times. And of course, the gun shooting and the craziness is continuing to happen. We see lots of parents losing their children because they play football. So we have Mr. Costas coming out and saying he will not allow his son to play football, even though sports is where he makes his money. Wow. Trying times. And I do ask you not to forget those in the Philippines. Please, do not forget those people if you can help. The only problem with those things is that when you try to help, you just don't know where your money is going. Sometimes it doesn't get to the people who you really want to help, you know? That's just a sad part of all of these disasters. Because like Haiti, you have 3 million people in Haiti who are wealthy beyond wealthy. And then you have so many people who are poor beyond poor. How do you kind of put something in the middle there to fix that divide? I just don't know. I think we just need God to show us the way, as He help us on our journey and help us on our way, because we just can't seem to figure it out as a people, as human beings, without trying to downtrodden kill the person who's poor and not like us. If they don't look like us, they can't be good. If they don't look like us, they can't be worthy. Who died and left us in charge of seeing and deciding who gets what and who doesn't get what? Okay. I want to do this. I want to also just talk about a nice story for a minute. The rabbi in Florida who bought a desk on Craigslist and then found $90,000 buried in the desk and decided to find the owner and give it back. I would expect a rabbi to do that. Would you do that? And then the owner of the money, she says it's her inheritance and she didn't know where she put the money? Well, my golly, if I had $90,000 that I'm putting in a desk, you bet no sure I'm going to remember that $90,000 is in that desk. And why did she put it in the desk anyway? I'm trying to figure out, did she dismantle? She must have dismantled that desk to put it in there, because they had to dismantle it to get it out. But that's a good news story. And the rabbi, young rabbi too, I expected him to do just what he did. But would you do that if you are not a rabbi? Something for you to think about today. Oh my goodness. There's a young woman that pushed her husband off a cliff after they were married for just a week. They were in their 20s. And she actually blindfolded him before she pushed him off the cliff. Wow, what cruelty. And before the wedding, she actually knew that the wedding should not take place in her heart. And the friends who were at the wedding said there was something odd about the wedding and when the vows were being said. So why did they go through with this? And now she's going to end up in prison? Young people, you should not be getting married so early. You should take time, live some life, explore the world with some travel, expand your brain and your mind before you take on husbands and wives. Now, some of you take on husbands and wives because you just want to have sex. Trust me, after a while, the sex ain't going to be that great. Because all sex goes down sometime. I don't care how much you stand on that pole and you have the pole in your bedroom and you do all those things. The sex eventually wanes a little. So take the time, young people, to search yourself, to know who you are. You can date without having sex or without kissing or without even holding hands. That's what the Jews do. Some of them anyway. You can explore the world without committing to someone. And then when you figure you've done all you need to do, because I'm tired of hearing people saying, oh, I got married too young, I didn't get a chance to explore. Whose fault is that? So I truly want young people to take time to do that. Yeah? Search yourself. Love yourself. Explore. Widen your horizon before you get hooked up. Unless the person you're getting hooked up with is willing to grow themselves and grow with you and love themselves as much as you love yourself, and willing to take that exploration tour around the world before you add babies to the equation. Don't just know where you live. Don't just eat the food that you know. Explore. The world is a big world to discover. So, Anyway, I want to just run through some things here. I'm going to go through it in more detail next week. Illegal questions that your employer should not be asking you in an interview. Have you ever been arrested? Are you married? What religious holidays do you practice? Do you have children? None of your business. What country are you from? That is none of your business either. And don't tell me I have an accent. I don't want to hear it. Is English your first language? Do you have any outstanding debt? Well, I guess they don't want the garnishers to call to garnish your wages, so they'll ask you that one. Do you socially drink? What does that have to do with anything? When was the last time you used illegal drugs? Well, maybe they should have asked the mayor of Canada that, of Toronto. The mayor in Canada from Toronto. They should have asked Mr. Ford that. Do you do illegal drugs? Before they elected him mayor. How long have you been working? Oh, I took some time off to have some babies. Or, you know, what type of discharge did you receive in the military? Well, that one doesn't apply to a lot of folks, but anyway. And also for those men who are marrying those women who are not Americans and they take your babies away and then you have to go fight custody, be cautious when you're getting married. We take a break and just come back in just a slither of a moment. You need to check out before you get married. Hello everyone, this is a season of giving. And I'm asking you to consider one of your gifts to be Deadly Negligence, written by yours truly, Diana Wright. A story that will give you hope, make you mad, shock you sometimes, but is bound to increase your faith and make you believe in miracles again. So please, give Deadly Negligence as a gift. As the gifting season begins to heat up, I am depending on you to do this for me. Thank you so much, and be the proud person to give a gift of the book, Deadly Negligence. It's available on Amazon.com and on my website, DianaWrightTV.webs.com. Thank you so much for my viewers around the world and in the United States. Be blessed. Remember, April 30th, 2014 is International I Love Me Day. I want you to start thinking about what will you do special for you on that day. Share it with me on Facebook and Twitter. And join the conversation on the Diana Wright Show, Monday through Friday, 10:30 a.m. We are live. The number to call, 561-228-1921. That's 561-228-1921. Join the conversation. Like us on Facebook and follow me on Twitter. Okay, we're back and we're coming up to the final moments of the show. This is the Diana Wright Show. We thank you so much for joining us from around the world and in the United States today, Monday through Friday. We do it right here, and I invite you to join me this weekend when we attend the Redeemer Lives concert. It's a gospel concert being put on by Dee and Miguel, and it's gonna be this Sunday, starting at 6 p.m. The gates open at 5. Refreshments will be on sale. It's going to take place at the Palm Beach Lakes High School Auditorium. That's on Shiloh Drive off of Military Trail. It promises to give you a great concert. And don't forget to join me, because I will be there trying to get you to buy my book. So just come on out, have yourself a great time, and enjoy the gospel music of Brother Paul Anderson and anointed voices led by Littell Gale. And of course the Overcomer Brothers, they'll be there too. You can find your tickets at Auntie Merle's Kitchen, which is at Southern and 441. And ask for Chef Bunny and tell Chef Bunny I sent you to get your tickets there, and also taste his food and buy some food from him. Also, you can check them out at Caribbean Choice Bakery, also in Island Style Bakery, and Food Town Supermarket. Those are the places that have tickets. If you need any more information, though, you need to call Dee at 561-351-3443. That's 561-351-3443 or 561-889-9584. That's for Miguel, 561-889-9584. So we look forward to seeing you there, and we also ask you to support Auntie Merle's Kitchen and Chef Bunny. We don't want him to close down. We want you to support his food because his food is good. It's good, it's good, it's good. If it wasn't good, I would not be telling you it's good, okay? So I promise you that. So keep liking us on Facebook, and like us on Facebook. And please, if you are talking to me from Africa and those places, don't try to get me to go to no bank to get your money, because I'm not stupid. I don't want to do that. And I shouldn't be doing that either. So please don't ask me to do that. Thank you so much for joining me today. Have yourself a blessed weekend, a safe weekend, and whatever you do, wherever you go for worship, as I always say, make sure you're going to praise God and have a jolly good time praising God, worshiping God. Don't go to multi-level market and try to see what you can get out of the pastor and the church and the congregation. Just go to worship and praise God, and then you'll be blessed. Have a blessed weekend. And don't forget the magic words. They are simple. I love me. April 30th, I Love Me Day, coming up right around the corner. Spread the word. Tell your friends. Spread it on Facebook. Yeah, that's where you need to spread it. Facebook. April 30th is International I Love Me Day, courtesy of the Diana Wright Show right here. www.dianawrighttv.webs.com, and the author of the book, Deadly Negligence. Sad, tragic story of hospital negligence. Read it. It will make you smart. It will give you tears, but it will fill your heart and make you conscious. Thank you, and be blessed.